G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the 2025 team reveal. It's always the most highly trafficked video of the year, and I think it's time for me to show you guys what it's looking like. I'm recording this at 4:30 in the Arvo, but this will probably be out at about 7:30. So here we go. Let's talk about my team for 2025. Before we get into it, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Stephen D.W. Smith and also on TikTok at SDS_SuperCoach. And I'm doing a new series with Damo from the Footy Mailbag that called the SuperCoach Throwdown Thursdays. It'll be a live show. It's a bit like Fireball Friday from SEN, but for SuperCoach. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to be a caller on this show, and you can also take part in the quiz. You can ask us a question, all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's get into the team now. Can I guarantee that these players are staying in the side? No. But I can give you guys a rough gauge on what's very likely to happen with this side because there's still team announcements to make and all that stuff. So, look, it's usually the case every year where we release our team, but a couple of things change. I think I'll comment down below any of the changes that I do make with the team. But let's get into it. D1 is Harry Sheezel. 635,000 is the most expensive player that I will be paying for. I think realistically with Harry Sheezel, I wouldn't mind fading Harry Sheezel, but I just don't have the guts to do it. Where he is in 67% of sides, by far and away the best defender in the game. This is the only player above 600k that I'm going to be spending on. So the rest of the team is under 600k. So I'm willing to splash the cash on one of the players, and I think Harry Sheezel's the best. If there were some better defender premium options, I probably would have avoided the Sheezel pick, but I'm really, really struggling with defender premium. So he is D1. If I have any guts to move off him, I'll let you know, but I just don't think I do. I think there's too much FOMO in my eyes. So usually, I think like this year, I'm certainly going a more different route to what I usually would with my starting team. So he's by far and away my most expensive defender. We have to go all the way down to 442k. Jaden Short from the Tigers. So we'll see him in action on Thursday. Why am I picking him? Over the past 4 years, prior to last year, he was averaging 95 to 99, roughly. I think it was 98 average th- for three of those 4 years, something like that. But yeah, I'm very happy to start Jaden Short. He's priced at 82. I think there's at least 10 points on value wise for him. Like we heard Adam Muse say that they want to play it a bit slower, have more possession of the ball, which is even better for Jaden Short. So I will be selecting Jaden Short, and along with Jaden Short is going to be Matty Roberts. Now, I've had him in the side all pre-season, so I will admit I did get mildly frustrated with how good he did on Thursday night. So he was a pod. Now he's 33%, but that's all right. What I expected to happen happened with Roberts, where Blakey becomes accountable and, oh, sorry, not accountable per se, not like a Ben Patton role, but just more accountable, which leaves Roberts around the ball, a kick behind, just doing more of the distribution off that half back line, which is what really excited me about the pick and his potential Supercoach scoring, which we saw on Friday against the Hawks, up the Hawks. Now we're going to go to Harry Perryman at D4. Yeah, I just wanted to see that role, and then seeing him in the CBAs, I was very keen on the pick. So yeah. So these are my four. Well, three of them are value in my eyes, and one of them is an absolute keeper. But yeah, I do really like this Perryman CBA role, and I don't think I see him being moved out of that. He doesn't have much history of playing full-time mid, but I think it was the rough average was about 97 in 11 games. prior to last week. So I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, 417K for a full-time mid. This could be a George Hewitt type of pick. We got Jackson Pryor here from the Bombers. So yes, I am running two defenders on field in defense, which doesn't give me much amount of love, but I'm really not liking the back line this year. So we're going Pryor. It's been announced that he's making his debut this weekend against the Hawks. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up, I did ask on Twitter a few weeks ago. Oh, it's reset, has it? No. Jackson Pryor, Essendon supporters, give me honest, unbiased thoughts on him SC wise. And there was a lot of mixed sort of responses. I do appreciate all the Essendon supporters responding to this. It really helped me sort of get a good gauge on it. So should be in the best 22, albeit just looks like he'll be playing the Jake Kelly role. Intercept marks, ability to switch the play. He's usually a good kick, so that's what I really liked out of him. 60 to 65-ish. So yeah, that's fine. Good, but worried Redmond could take his spot. I actually don't know what's going on with Redmond. Lock should play. I have him, but could just be outside the best 22. I think he's at 22. So there's a lot of Bombers supporters that aren't too sure. Doubt he'll be sub. That's music to my ears. He'll be locked down. That's fine with me. Sub at best, okay. I don't remember that one. Yeah, the job security. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty with the Bombers. Skirter, who's one of the biggest Essendon supporters on the planet for Twitter wise. From Match Sims, I've seen more of a defensive role with limit ball getting opportunities. Uses the ball very well. So yeah, I do like his. From what I saw with Brisbane, he had really good disposal efficiency. Really nice kick on him. Very defensive role, will play. So yeah, I think there's more people saying that he will play and stay in the team than not. So I am going to back in Jackson Pryor. I know Luke Cleary, there's been a bit of noise. I don't trust the job security one bit with that. I think Pryor's a bit more secure. And then at D6, I am going Bo Allen. Now, I'll tell you my reasoning because he's actually a doubt to play this week. But he's had an amazing preseason at the Eagles. I know he scored that -12, but if we can look past that, if we can try to look past that, seems like to me best 22 for West Coast. He trained fully. So I think he'll miss this week with with the sickness, and then come back in the following week. Now, the reason I'd be starting a dead rookie in round one is if my VC is amazing. I'll tell you my others. I've got Zach Reid, who's just an absolute lock as a rookie defender. He's got good job security. We just need to hope that body holds up. Otherwise, he's dead again. And then we got Luke Trainer, who's been announced that he's making his debut for the Tigers. So Zach Reid's going to stay. I'll tell you guys who I'm fairly confident in staying the side. So Short, Roberts, Perryman, Reid are locks. If Trainer isn't sub, locked. Now, I'll talk to you about Bo Allen here because if my VC delivers, then I can use him as the loophole for round one, and he should be back for round two. If my VC doesn't deliver, however, I'm probably going to go Ben Patton. So there's a bit of transparency. I'll talk to you guys about my VC a little bit later, but for now we're going Bo Allen because if my VC delivers, then I'll captain Allen and we'll sort that out. And then I can emergency trainer on the Thursday night, see how he scores and see what the vibe is in my decision making there. Because it's a bit of an awkward situation. If trainer scores really well, but my VC doesn't deliver, you don't really want to, but you can keep Bo Allen on field, that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see how things pan out there. But that is my back line. In the midfield, we've gone relatively heavy in here. We have got my second most expensive player being Andy Brayshaw. I think Fremantle have got an amazing start for midfielders, and I wanted to be a part of that. Originally, it was going to be Hayden Young, but unfortunately did his hamstring, so we will be swapping So over the past couple of months, we've had swap to Brayshaw, and he hasn't left my side. So could be a big season for him. I'll back him in. 591K is not horrendous. And I think there's a bit of value there. I think he can do better. I know he struggled to start the year due to a injury issue. We've got Christian Petrarca here at M2. So I just needed to see what was going on with just how he's going, because I've been very keen on Petrarca this whole preseason, but unfortunately with that cracked rib and all that, is there too many hits to the body? We know that Petrarca's the ultimate professional. So at 556K, I consider that as value for him. I think you guys are starting to see the trend with this team. There's a lot of value based for me. So I've gone Christian Petrarca at 556K. I think he can do better than 103, obviously. I think he can hit the 110 mark if he's fully back to his best. And he could even be playing a little bit of half forward, which might mean he could become forward eligible, which is music to my ears. Then we're going to go with Connor Rosie at D3. At D3, M3. Now, I guess the problem would be is how's his toe? Is it all good? Because there was that inter-club match incident with the Horn Francis tackle. He seems to be fine. So, I mean, he seems fine. By the way, Brayshaw's a lock. Petrarca is probably a lock. And then Rosie to stay in the side, probably, unless he's like really struggling. If it's a game time decision, I'll move to someone else. But yeah, Connor Rosie with no Zach Butters for the first 6 rounds. What's he priced at? He's priced at 98. I think he can definitely do 108 when he's fully on the park. I have to. Sometimes I think some people forget. You got to have a bit of fun with this game. And I've been wanting to pick Will Day this whole time. He's turned out to be an option. I am going to be picking Will Day. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I just want to have Will Day in my side and cheer him on like all get out. So, yeah, I haven't started a Hawthorn premium in a while, and I just want to start Will Day. So I still think he's a great option. I know he won't kick 3 goals every week. I know he won't get 6 free kicks every week, but I know what he's capable of. I watch him every single week, and I know that he's capable of potentially going to a 110. I think that's his ceiling this year. Even if he goes a bit lower than that, what's he priced at? 91. There's scope for him to do 20 points above where he's priced at. So realistically, probably 105, 106, but that's fine. 15 points above his price. So that's cool with me. So yeah, I really want to start Will Day, and he doesn't affect buys or anything. Clayton Oliver's pretty easy lock, 62%. I'm surprised that's not higher, actually. He's had a full preseason, looks fit as a fiddle, back to his best, so happy to have him. And then Adam Chera for the Blues. I've been eyeing him up a fair bit as well. He was 150K more expensive this time last year. So, he is priced at 83. So I think he can do 20 plus what he's priced at. So, yeah, I'm happy to have Chera in the side. 12% ownership. I think he's a bit of a pod as well. Same with Brayshaw and Petrarca. A few pods in this midfield, which I don't take into consideration that much. It's like if I want the player, I'll pick them regardless of ownership or whatever. So, Adam Chera in the team. The injuries bugger me a little bit. Like it's a bit scary, but that's all right. We'll run through that. Got Elijah Sardis here for the Bombers, who seems to be a full-time mid for the Bombers. So at 191K, he'll be very interesting to see on Friday night. I don't think he's a versatile player. I don't think he can play any other position than inside mid, which is a great result. And then I'm going with Levi Ashcroft. This has a bit of Riley Sanders about it, where he could just become sub at any time, even though we know how good of a talent he is. But I'm happy to just pick him and see where it goes. I think he's too talented of a draft prospect to just miss out on. You'd rather get it wrong than not get him. So Yeah, I'm going to see where this Ashcroft pick takes us. I think there's a few other mid options that we can pivot to. If it doesn't pan out, we can always take him out if he is sub. I think he'll be playing a bit of forward time, but that's fine with me. We're going to go with a player that I haven't had in my side at most of pre-season, the majority of pre-season, but chucking him in now is Finn O'Sullivan. We're also going to have Mitch Nevitt, who I've had in my team a little bit now. And then a player that's being announced making his debut, Lucas Camporelli. So Lucas Camporelli, I think he can actually lock down that wing role for the Blues. So I am fine with paying 113,000 for that. Mitch Nevitt, I'm not sure if he's going to be playing inside midfield, but I think he's clearly had a good enough preseason to be in consideration there. I think there'll be a lot of mid and wing sort of thing. I think he'll be more of a winger. But let's remember Ollie Dempsey, how good he was on the wing. And then Finn O'Sullivan, I think there'll be wing as well, but there could be little stints off half back, even half forward. So there's been a couple of mid rookies that have sort of dropped off our radar a bit, where I feel like there's actually not many more options past these guys. Um, and yeah, I've just gone with them. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, where's Nathan O'Driscoll? He is my flex. So I mean, you can really just pick anyone there. I've gone with Nathan O'Driscoll just because I wanted to fit him in. I think the mid rookies are good, but they've sort of diluted. But I definitely wanted to get him in. You could put Sardis in, you could put Ashcroft in. Hell, you could even put Clayton Oliver in there if you want to. I just chucked him there. Not at flex. Now the ruck line. Let's get into it. So I have gone Tom DeConning, who I has been one of the first picked for every single draft I've done for SuperCoach until the Pitanet news. The Kerno surgery news that I knew that Pitanet would come in for him and DeConning would play forward. But now Pitanet's done his calf, which means we've got a free run of DeConning solo ruck for 6 weeks. And yeah, extreme value. Let's see that run that he had in when he had solo ruck run. Here we go. 131, 140, 146, 176, 128. Don't remember. I think they rested him here. So yeah, no problem with DeConning right there. There's enough. There's so much value there where he's just hard to pass up. And I really wish everyone the best of luck that doesn't go with him. And then we're going to chuck Matty Flynn. And I think it's fair enough to question the R2 decision. And we're just going to put Harry Boyd in there. If Boyd's not named, I'll pick Brady. And Boyd should play. Boyd's a very decent chance of playing. And then Reedy should play for Fremantle. But yeah, the Marshall might play forward, Boyd might play ruck. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now, there deserves to be a fair bit of skepticism about the Matty Flynn pick, and I'll try to my best way to explain it. With these best 18 rounds early in the season, we can afford to sort of wait for an opportunity to come. And we've got, if he gets injured very early, we've got 3 weeks to correct it. Like having 22 players on field instead of 23 for best 18 isn't the end of the world. You're losing out probably 2-3 points. I don't know. But I just think there's extreme value there. As much as I like English, I don't like him much compared to some of all these amazing mid-value options. Like I'm missing a Callahan, a Will Ashcroft. There's a Dawson, an Ed Richards. There are so many mids that I'd love to pick. A Peatling that I'd rather pick over Tim English, if that makes sense. I don't want to pick Tim English compared to some of these other guys that I need to fit in. So yeah, look, I'm picking Flynn at R2. It's extremely risky, and if you, yeah, I wouldn't. If you're faint-hearted, I wouldn't do it, but we'll give it a go. It's either a massive massive win or massive loss here. We just need him to be healthy for the first 6 rounds. That's how I see it. And if he ends up getting injured round 2 or 3, I'll cop the L. But what's he priced at? He's priced at 60. He can go 80 in this solo ruck role. And I know he's had a couple of injury problems in preseason. I just want to see how it goes. So, yes, I can understand the criticism with Flynn at R2, but let's take a risk. Why not? Let's take a risk. Because I don't really want to pick any other ruckman, really. As much as I don't mind Tim English, but the ruck plan this whole preseason has been DeConning and Flynn in my eyes, and you just got to stick with it. All right, let's get into the forward line. We've got Horne-Francis, who's been in for the majority of my preseason. Top 6 forward, all that. I've told you guys multiple times the reasons. No Zach Butters as well. Could he cop a tag? You never know. There's talks of him being a full-time mid, all that sort of stuff. So he's in. We got Jack McRae in for the Saints. Full-time mid. Should smash it, of course. We've got Bailey Smith here for the Cats. I think he'll start slow, and it actually wouldn't surprise me if we have to trade him out early due to how average he's been. But we know what Bailey Smith's capable of. He's been a player averaging 95 plus a couple of times in the past, and he's priced at I don't even know what that is. 3K less than McRae. So he's priced at like 71 when he can easily do 91 plus. So I'm happy with that. Riley Sanders, I would like to think that Bevo will actually play him in his actual position and give him a good run at it at 339K with the Bont injury, the Treloar injury, the Richards calf potential. I think he should play, but yes, to me, Sanders has to be playing midfield early. And if this pick fails, then we jump ship to someone else. It's as simple as that. His SuperCoach scoring profile has so much potential that if it doesn't work out, we'll swap him to Luke Parker or swap him to, I don't even know who else. There'll be some, I don't know, Rankin, that type of thing. So we'll figure it out. I think the ceiling's too high for me to pass up. Helmet, easy start for me. We know the history of North Melbourne halfbacks, so that's fine. And then Hugo Garcia, who looks like he could be having a full-time mid-role for the Saints, so I am happy with Garcia at 245K. I think there's scope for him to make 130K and, another mid-pricer that we can elevate to someone else that drops in price. Maybe like a Dylan Moore, who maybe could start off slow. I know he scored a 90, but you never know. And then for the last 2 forward rookies, we've got Connor Stone and we have got Sam Davidson from the Dogs. So that's an easy one. So, yeah, this is the squad right here. Now, let's discuss some other things here. We can have a look at the buys. So the round 2 buy. So this is also part of the reason why I picked Connor Stone, so he can be my loophole for round 2 in captaincy. He's also, I think, got much better job security than like a James Leake, that type of thing. And the reason I'm not starting Callahan is, I mean, I've had these options more. I've really put it on the radar of some of you guys that he could really break out this year. I just can't find a way to fit him into my team. And if we need him so desperately, then we can trade to him. So, yeah, that's just how I see it. We'll see how he goes against Melbourne. I think Collingwood's midfield was so slow on Sunday, but that doesn't mean that he won't break out because I still think he will. I just can't find room for him. But yeah, Stone can be the BC loophole next week, so that's cool. And then let's have a look. The round 3 buy. Sorry, that's round 4. Round 3 buy. So we've got Robertson Perryman missing. We might have to field 22 if we pick Patton, because there'll be 3 defenders there. But that's really the only problem glaring problem there. Um, it's actually the round four bye that gives me the most trouble with Pryor and Reed. And then also you got Day and Sardis. So, but the mids are relatively easy to cover. So, yeah, this is the squad. Is there anything else for me to go over? Yes, let's talk about some of the guys that I'd actually love to fit into the side, but I can't just due to structure. So just remember, O'Driscoll was there. Ownership, so like Kako, I maybe I'm being too stubborn on just trying to get an advantage on the comp, because Kako's a small forward for Essendon. He pushed up the ground a little bit, but I don't know if I think he might be too important in Essendon's forward line. I don't know. I guess it's a big risk going against a 70% rookie. I don't mind Kako, and I actually don't have any problems with not starting him. But yeah, I just can't quite find the room. Like I prefer Finn O'Sullivan's role, Nevitt, Camporelli. I just prefer all these guys' roles better than him. So yeah, I might have to correct to him, but that's fine. Cherry with DeConning and Flynn as options, no. Lake, I'm not picking. That role stunk, and Tom Green might be back this week. He could get dropped or sub. Hewitt, I think I'd rather trade into him if I have to, because I'm just hearing these issues with his body at this point in preseason. This screams sub to me, so I'm a little bit wary. I'll trade him into him if I have to. Nick Dacos, I've not been keen on at all this preseason. He hasn't been in any of the teams, so mildly frustrated that he went. He had cramp in the second half and got tagged out, but I sort of expected Bedford to ruin the Dacos ownership. Travaglia's not going to play. Erasmus, massive sub risk. Draper's going to be eased into the season, as I sort of thought. It's 30%. So we've got Sardell Hawley. He's not going to play. Rankin, I would love to get in, but I just can't with all these different forward options. But I would love to. Lockie Neal, nah. Holmes haven't been ever that hot on. Sarong, I prefer Brayshaw. We got Callahan, I'd love to fit in, but I'll trade into him if I need to. Obviously, had a huge game against the Pies. I keep thinking it was Hugo, probably because of Hugo Garcia, but Hugh Boxall. Let's see if he gets named, but I think I prefer Camporelli in these types. Will Ashcroft, I guess if Supercoach with DR and Ben from Supercoach Insider, two massive Lions fans, skeptical on the pick, then I think that sort of answers it itself. I've never really looked at Powell Pepper. Is there sub risk? Is there deep forward risk? Like he did his ACL in round 10 last year. It seems to be a very massive recovery for him. I think everyone's sort of faded on the Tom Lynch pick due to some of these forward rookie options. Langford's going to be more forward of the ball. I don't know. I'm not as much of a fan. Gorn's a massive talking point. I'll talk about that on Throwdowns Thursdays with Damo. Max Hall, we expect to make his debut. Sheldrick, I'll admit, I was massively hot on this pick, but he absolutely stunk up the gaff against the Hawks. So, unfortunately, won't be entering my side. Luke Parker, backup option for Sanders. Like, yeah, there's a few guys here. I'm obviously like Dawson. I'd love to pick. DeConning, if there was more clarity on the role, I'd like to pick him as well. Peatling, I'd love to pick because I still think the pick is perfectly fine, but I just can't fit him in. Tom Stewart, if I went 5 defender premiums, I'd probably pick Stewart. So if you see my team in round 1 and doing my review, don't be surprised if Tom Stewart's in it. Got Dan Curtin. No. Yeah, and Jordan Clark, I don't hate either. They're really the main two. Sicily's role is too much of there's too much herky jerkiness with that Sicily role for my liking. I'll trade into him later in the year if I have to. So yeah, that's overall summary. We'll put O'Driscoll back in. I'm sure you guys are all very excited about SuperCoach 2025 because I am. I'm very keen. So Yeah, that is the team. Won't leave you hanging for much longer. So if you're still watching the video, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, of course. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the team. Um, Obviously I'll respond to any comment. I've been slack recently, so I got to respond. But that is the squad. Um, Final summary on some of these players being locks. Short, Roberts, Perryman are locks. Sheasel's probably 90% a lock, unless I get the balls to change. Um, Pryor is probably a lock. Bo Allen depends on the VC score. I didn't talk about that. It might be on DeConning. And then my fullback is probably Sheasel or Brayshaw. Probably Sheasel. So VC probably on DeConning or Brayshaw, and then the fullback's on Sheasel. So what else? Bo Allen, if the VC hits, if Tom DeConning goes nuts Thursday night, I'll keep Bo Allen. Reed is a lock. Trainer, if isn't sub, is a lock. Brayshaw's, yeah, 90% a lock. Petrarca's, I'll say 80% lock, just in case I hear anything about Petrarca. Rosie again, probably 70% lock, just due to when I hear more about this toe. Will Day, 90% lock. Oliver, 100%. Chera, 100%. Sardis, 100%. Ashcroft, 90%. O'Sullivan, 60% lock. Nevitt, 95% lock. Camporelli, 95% lock. DeConning and Flynn, both 100% locks. Boyd, I'll say 50 just in case he doesn't get named. Horn Francis, 100. McRae, 100. Smith, 100. Sanders at 98. Daniel, 100. Garcia, 75, just in case I hear any problems or if team selection scares me away from the pick. Stone, 95% locked. Davidson, 100%. And O'Driscoll, 100%. So, as you guys can tell, like, of course, there'll be a couple of changes to the team because it happens every year. There'll be selection drama, which we'll hear about on Thursday night. But yeah, just thought I'd give you guys my honest thoughts on each player and all that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I've got 5 rookies on field as well. So, and that's been fairly consistent for most of preseason for me, just going more value based and having less rookies on field. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Any questions, leave them down below. Cheers.